this is my community service final presentation for the Midwifery 304 class. My synopsis sentence is that I have chosen to create a deck of birth affirmation cards for the women in my community choosing out of hospital birth, created by children of all ages who are either born at home or in a birthing center, in order to inspire and empower women choosing this route of birth that they are not alone and that they too can do it. This is the purpose of me choosing this community service project and why I believe in birth affirmations. Positive affirmations are specific statements that help you overcome negative thoughts and create new pathways in the brain for positive mental, emotional, and physical changes. When pregnancy affirmations are properly used, our brains change for the better, and it positively impacts our thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you repeat the same thoughts in your head, positive or negative, you start to believe them and your brain forms new pathways of neurons. It is possible to replace negative brain pathways with positive ones through the simple exercise of birth affirmations. The more you travel down the path, the more likely your brain is to travel down the path in future circumstances. How my project was carried out. I reached out to all my local craft stores for donated supplies to support my project. I put the word out by reaching out to former clients and families I know who chose to birth outside of the hospital and were willing to let their children participate. I then created individual cards, some totally blank and some with pre-written words based on age, for the children to then decorate. I provided each child crafting supplies, pens, and highlighters that I collected with pre-stamped envelope for them to then mail back to me. I then photocopied their masterpieces and compiled individual decks to give away to our local birthing center. And then I just put an image here of an example of cards that I created to provide children to decorate, and I intentionally left space at the bottom for them to have creative expression and draw pictures or whatever they wanted to put on there. And these are some pictures of my completed project. On the left, I have some completed cards. And then I also created just like a cover card that says what it is and all of the children's names that participated. On the right, I included the basket in which I brought to the birthing center with all of the completed decks of cards and just a little sign that says the free birthing affirmations made by children in our community that were born out of the hospital, and to take as needed to be encouraged by those gone before you. Problems that I encountered. The biggest problem I encountered was in my planning process. I had a challenging time finding studies specifically for the impact of affirmations in labor correlating with birth outcomes. The other biggest challenge was getting local craft stores to donate to my project, and I had to look elsewhere, such as getting family and friends to donate supplies to my project. Ways that I view this has benefited pregnant women in my community, connecting with women in my community who chose home or birth center delivery even 15 years ago, talking about their birth and how it has impacted their life. They have all been more than willing to allow their children to participate in my project, and they were all super honored to have been asked to be involved, reminiscing and having someone to retell their birth story to all these years later. I think was really exciting and refreshing for all of them. I also believe that the recipients of the decks of cards will be encouraged to find strength in the words written on every individual card. My hope is that the overwhelming comfort will be brought to them in their labor process, and they will draw strength from the women who have paved the way before them and feel a deep support of their community standing behind them. Acknowledgement and thanks to all the amazing mothers allowing their babies and children to participate in my project, to my friends and family who donated supplies to help fund the creation of each individual deck of cards, and to the birthing center and local midwives for allowing me to freely give away decks of my birth cards to their beautiful expecting clients. And below are the citations. Thank you so much for listening.